Ah, Destiny, my fine feathered friend. For 3 years we've been playing this damn game, and in preparation for Destiny 2, I'd like to take a look back at some of our greatest memories. We've grown a lot over the last 3 years, not just as players and guardians, but as a community. Whether you're a die-hard veteran with every exotic and record book completed, or just a casual PvP player who hasn't run the endgame content and reached 400, we've all enjoyed Destiny in some way, and I'm hoping that in this video I can somewhat capture what it was like to experience Destiny over the last 3 years. Going back and playing the story missions again really made me appreciate how big and expansive this game was. It took us to exotic and unique worlds with so much lore and mystery that after a while these places start to feel alive and real. A lot of what I love about Destiny is its freedom to play how you want, and I personally love exploring new areas of the map and seeing new locations. Both The Taken King and Rise of Iron expanded the map with these huge explorable patrols with their own hidden areas and secret loot spots. Going through the campaign again after all these years, it felt cool to experience the thrill of discovering these worlds for the first time, or at least trying to relive that initial excitement. And even though the plot was vague and honestly a huge cliffhanger, it felt kind of fascinating not having every loose end tied up. Not every mystery had to be solved, it left players to find their own answers. The boss fight at the end of Year 1 might have been underwhelming to say the least, but when Year 2 rolled around, the Taken King fixed a lot of those issues and we got an enemy who knew how to make an entrance. Man, that soundtrack still gives me goosebumps. Oryx was seriously one kick-ass boss. And while the villains and enemies of the game are cool, the characters and people throughout the game were genuinely interesting to meet and learn about. Their own struggles and motivations and how that affects you as a player. With The Taken King and Rise of Iron, we started seeing characters whom we were already familiar with come to life and fight alongside us.
Even old wolves still bite.
Personally, I love the Rise of Iron story and Lord Saladin as a character. After accomplishing that final battle and knowing there wouldn't be any more Destiny story until Destiny 2, I was kinda sad. But there was still plenty to do after the story missions were done. My favorite part of Destiny has to be the raids. The greatest challenges in PvE and the best way to bring Destiny players together, whether it be cheesing raid mechanics in Crota or facing a new terrifying foe like the Taken, is what made the raids so amazing. And with each expansion we all found ourselves hunting after the greatest loot we could get our hands on and praying to RNGesus for that Vex Mythic class, Crux of Crota, or perfectly rolled set of gear. Remembering when House of Wolves introduced a new social space and arena PvE, while I had expected a raid from that expansion, I can remember my first time going to the Reef and being challenged in the Prison of Elders, and of course, subsequently farming that shit for strange coins for hours just to visit Xur on Friday. And for PvP players, racing to Trials on the weekends, only to find yourself at 8 wins and fail miserably on the 9th. Or waiting until the end of the month for Iron Banner, which is my favorite PvP activity. But Destiny wouldn't be Destiny without its live events and community fun. The Halloween events, better known as the Festival of the Lost, where we all spent countless hours getting fake, virtual, cosmetic, perkless masks that would... Wait, no? Just me? Well, alright then. But come on, you gotta admit, the skull and wolf masks were pretty fucking cool, even if I did spend like $40 in microtransactions just to get them. Then of course there was the Dawning over the winter holidays, which featured its own collectible armor sets. The Dawning also featured probably the only PvP game mode I'm actually Diamond tier in, Sparrow Racing, which I was surprisingly good at. Destiny is one of those games that kept me coming back day after day, week after week, for 3 years, because there was always something to do, something to accomplish, some challenge to complete, or some grand new adventure to be had. Looking back, I remember getting my first exotic. I remember staying up late just to install every new update and expansion. I remember hopping online when a new limited time event was live, or hunting for that new hidden exotic, or grinding for the new level cap. And all of these accomplishments I've achieved were with close friends, whom I'm closer with today because of our shared experiences in Destiny. But that being said, I've lost touch with many of the people I used to play Destiny with. The first friends who introduced me to the game and carried me through the first year don't really play anymore. I've gone from being a low-light scrub who needs high-level companions to being the kind of veteran player who revels in helping newer players through the endgame content. It's what keeps me going after completing literally every other thing in the game. But after completing every mission, raid, record book, and PvP challenge, what does that leave players to do? Climb a mountain, of course. See, the trick with climbing Felwinter Peak is knowing that you're going to fail at least 36,000 times and praying to RNGesus to respawn you relatively close to where you were. Sometimes you don't lose any progress on your climb. Sometimes you do, Bungie please. But after a while, you'll finally make it. Still looking for ways to pass the time before Destiny 2? Don't own a PlayStation? Don't worry! Xbox players are so bored waiting for new content that we are literally glitching into PlayStation exclusive parts of the map just to get extra Grimoire. Clearly, I've played a lot of Destiny. Some would say too much, but at the end of the day, when we've completed every single thing there is to do in Destiny, we all know that it's going to be wiped clean. A fresh slate for all Guardians new and old. And it'll be sad to see our gear and vaults destroyed, but Destiny 2 is a chance for us to make new memories and tell new stories. Thank you so much for watching my little nostalgia trip through Destiny 1. I will certainly be making more videos when Destiny 2 comes out, so please stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you feel like it, and help a Guardian out with a like, and I will see you next time, hopefully in Destiny 2.